in 10 years, I'm gonna look back and be like, fuck y'all. Like,
Yeah.
I did what I wanted to do when y'all were out partying, telling me to come, giving me shit.
Yeah, mother. Yeah, mother. Usually we start every conversation with how'd you get here?
So it was something that I was really interested in. I talked to Andre when we played him right before break. We talked about it a little bit, but that's really it.
Did he explain to you like our collection of this? It's called Cream, and it's based around this is predominantly minority league. So the rarity of making it into the NBA is crazy, and then the rarity of being a white player in the NBA is even crazier. So, you're like a unicorn. So we appreciate you pulling up.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Say less. So let's get into it, bro. I want to start back into your upbringing. We just spoke on it earlier. You're from a small town, 1,200 people from Newark, Arkansas. You graduated with a class of 52 people. So how did that person, Austin Reaves, a.k.a. the Hillbilly Kobe, make it to the NBA?
It's been a great story, honestly. And I only played 1 year AAU, so I wasn't really, into basketball like that. I played baseball more so growing up. But both of my parents played at Arkansas State. My brother plays in Germany now. And I remember being probably 8th grade and him dragging me to the gym because I think he's seen something in me that I didn't even see. I was wanting to go hang out with my friends and run around and do stupid shit, to be honest. But he was making me go to the gym, get up, 500 shots a day, play one-on-one all day. And I think it just, he instilled something in me that I knew I was going to have to do. And it was work harder than everybody else. And my journey's been nothing less than, intriguing, honestly, just because, not many people make it from where I'm from.
Because people from small towns don't give a fuck about nothing. At all. I'm never gonna leave here. It don't fucking matter.
They don't leave there. They don't leave.
So you come from a town of 1,200. When you had these big aspirations of being an NBA player, what was the response to that? I came from Chicago, and all my friends were like, "Bro, you're not making it to the league." So I can only imagine how it was with you. Like, how did you keep up the resilience to believe in your dream? And also just stay your course. As a young individual, everybody worries about their environment and what people think and follow the crew.
Yeah, I was more so the person to be like, in 10 years, I'm going to look back and be like, fuck y'all. Like, I did what I wanted to do when y'all were out partying, telling me to come, giving me shit.
Hop in the back of the pickup truck.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. But
Varsity Blues.
You joke, but that's basically what it's like. But yeah, no, I definitely got a lot of shit for chasing my dream. But like you said, I just wanted to make it and then look back when I did and basically throw the middle finger up and move on.
How much does your mom love it, bro? Because I know your mom was a real, because she averaged 20 a game in college, and she's like, damn, my little boy, he's playing for the Lakers, like, he's really going out to do it. Does she ever, sit up and be like, yo, you got to go get 15 tonight? Or, like Austin, we need you in the second unit to guard, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she definitely, when I have bad games, she lets me know about it. She don't get too high for the good ones, but it's the bad ones I hear most about. Why I didn't do this, why I did this, why I had 4 turnovers. So it's the hard love that comes from that side most of the time. But she's been doing that since I was 5 years old, so it's normal.
All right, that's good. You keep bringing up your brother Spencer and everything like that. Can you talk about what it was like for him to push you to get into the league? Does he ever feel a type of way of pushing you to get into the league, having the blueprint to do so, but then also, using his passport to play overseas?
He would never show it to me. I don't think it bothers him because he's happy for me, but at the same time, every hooper has the dream of playing in the league.
Who wins in one-on-ones when you go back home?
Sadly, I'm not going to say he beats me more than I beat him, but he gives me more fits playing one-on-one than anybody I play.
Yeah.
He knows everything about me.
Yeah.
Lefty makes everything. I feel like I'm a decent defender, but he makes me look like a bad one.
That's real. So at the beginning, when you first started the game and your brother was pushing you towards it, like what were you thinking? Were you like, yo, just get off my back? Or when did that belief come in that you're like, yo, this could be a real thing? Because you saw your parents, they're both Division I athletes. I don't think you gave your mom enough credit for who she is. Anytime you drop 20 in college, you're a real life baller, and she averaged 20. And it's funny because your dad was the all-time or top 5 in assists, right?
Top 5.
And it's kind of funny how your game matches that of a pretty great scorer, but then that of an all-around playmaker. At what point did you know, who were certain people you looked up to when you watched the game?
At a young age, I was honestly a Kobe fan. It was, very ironic that I ended up on the Lakers. I was one person that, I would always been, idolizing and really wanted to meet. And, unfortunate with, what happened to him and his family, and everybody else that was involved. But I really like Joe Ingles. That was someone that, he figures it out.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Joe's tough. Yeah.
He can do multiple things. He can make shots. He's pesky on the defensive end, and he talks a lot of trash.
Yeah. And he can definitely elevate his play to that of a superstar of like, he can go point for point with Paul George or whoever else. So during that time.
Yeah. And then he's not scared of the moment. He likes big time moments. But before all that, I looked up to both of my parents. We used to joke around the house that, dad couldn't score because mom, like you said, averaged 20, 21 when she was at Arkansas State. So we gave him a lot of shit about that. But like you said, he was, top 5 in assists. So I kind of, tried to figure out how to put those two together and become an overall player. And then my brother is, the icing on the cake. He taught me everything I needed to know about basketball.
That's real. So when you were going into basketball and everything like that, and you left from there and you started off at Wichita State, how'd you go about that? Because you went from coming from a small town and being able to garner Division I after 1 year at AAU.
It was interesting because I only had probably 3 or 4 scholarship offers. I think I averaged 32 my senior year, like 8 and 5, and it was crickets. Like besides other than I think it was like Wichita State, South Dakota State, Arkansas State finally offered, but they were going through a coaching change.
Did ever were your parents kind of like being like you should go to Arkansas State, or in the back of your mind did you ever think like what was it, Red Hawks or something? What's Arkansas State?
The Red Wolves.
Red
I think.
Wolves.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they never pushed me to that. Honestly, they were probably more mad that they didn't offer earlier or offer my brother. So it was kind of a bad taste in their mouth, I think, just because, so close and they had played there that they didn't kind of capitalize on that opportunity. Because if my brother would have went there, I probably would have ended up going there. But, I went to Wichita after, my senior year, and it was a different life, and I was young. I was 17 when I graduated. So I was basically a kid still.
Yeah. So what was it like at Wichita? Was it kind of like fish out of water type situation? Because surprisingly enough, Wichita State is a big town compared to where you're from, correct?
No, it definitely was. And they had just, I think 2 years before, went to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet, Ron Baker.
Yeah.
So they were really good. So we had a whole new team with a lot of expectation, and everybody basically written us off before the year. So we had something to prove when we were going in there as a collective group.
I understand that. So when it came down to it, I know at Wichita State you averaged 6 a game there. And then you transfer up, which is very rare. And I remember seeing you in college, and I was like, oh, okay, 6'4" white kid, first team all, Yep. What really clicked on for you?
So we had played Oklahoma the 2 years when I was at Wichita State, and Coach Kruger's a player's coach. That was basically the opposite of what I had at Wichita State. So I was looking to go somewhere that I was able to kind of be more myself instead of really like that plug and play, like glue guy that, figures it out. You can do multiple different things. So I was just trying to get to a situation where, I could be more myself and Really just hoop, honestly.
Where'd that confidence come from? Because usually people are dropping confidence after you do 2 years and not be using a precise situation that you want to. So were you always confident being like, yo, I can ball? Like, I know for
Yeah.
sure there's a next level, because I know you never thought you'd make it to the NBA, but there's a level enough to be like, yo, I'm better than how they're using me.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I've never really been the best player on my team. Like even in high school, my freshman and sophomore year, my brother was our best player, and it wasn't even close. And then junior and senior year, I was the best player. So I would always had learned to figure it out. So I didn't really think about it. I always just thought about what was best for the team. I was a team player, wanted to win. But like you said, like I knew I could do more. And I knew if I just got in the right opportunity and playing for a player's coach that basically is like go hoop, everybody wants that.
Yeah, no, that's an understatement. So at what point at Oklahoma did you know kind of that like your dream, or when did your dream of making it to the NBA become a real thing? And then when did you know it could be a reality? When were you like, oh shit, like I'm no longer Austin Reaves from Newark, Arkansas, but like I'm actually like a ball player everywhere I go. Like this is
Yeah, it happened pretty soon because when I transferred, I think we played pickup in the summer a couple of times, and I was killing. One of the assistant coaches had called one of my guys to help me get recruited, and was like, basically, you undersold him. Like he's better than what you said. And he was like, "Were you complaining?" And he was like, No, we're good." But I was walking out to the parking lot, and Coach Kruger was walking out behind me, and he stopped me, and he was like, I think you could be a first round pick after because I redshirted 1 year." And then I was like, damn, like this man has seen a lot of basketball, coached a lot of players. Like I said, seen a lot of good players. So once he said it, it kind of, was reality.
That's real. So from there you went, you killed, you were able to be first team, all conference and everything like that at Oklahoma. You leave, you decide to go out, and I think one unique thing about your situation, you were kind of like a chosen undrafted rookie, right? Can you go into that?
There was a really high interest going into the draft that if I didn't get drafted, that LA was wanting me on a two-way. And so kind of going into the draft, my agents did a really good job of like laying everything out. I didn't have to press, and I didn't have to, if someone called it, like I think it was Detroit called it 42 and was like, we'll take him on a two-way. I didn't have to like jump on that opportunity because I knew like a better situation was kind of already on the table. So I think that happened a couple times in the draft, like in the 40s and the 50s. And as sad as it was to not hear my name called, like I feel like we did the right thing.
I mean, what gave you so much confidence to say we did the right thing and reject Detroit and sign a two-way deal to LA? I remember, being a free agent and talking about going to LA, and the guys, Mitch Kupchak's like, well, we have a guy here that likes to pass, shoot, and dribble and control and facilitate. What gave you so much confidence to be like, I can make it here, I can get a deal, and I can find my niche in the league? Alongside the second greatest player of all time.
The second.
I mean, MJ.
Okay,
don't even do that. This man's crazy,
okay.
Reggie.
Yeah, well, hey, everybody wants to go off numbers now.
No. You doing your job too. Like, if Brian was watching this, like, I would be like, yo, why didn't you ask him the second? So I respect that, man. Sure, there you go. Get your money, baby.
No, honestly, one of the biggest factors into all of it was actually LeBron. Like, it was someone that I knew, and my agents knew that we would connect on a IQ level of basketball, and it was always just the opportunity if I got that I knew I would capitalize on, just because there's some difficulties, but he makes the game so much easier for everybody else if you can. If you think the game, like if you understand how he likes to play, like what he wants players to do, he's whatever you say, second best player in the world for a reason. He does everything really well, and he made it easy for me because we kind of connected pretty fast on just an IQ level.
All right, we'll go back to, I keep harping on like you're pretty chill, and I would never guess you're from Arkansas, but go back from walking out of Newark, Arkansas into walking into the NBA and the LA Lakers? Like, what type of culture shock was that for you?
Uh, I'm a homebody, so I chill in the house. I don't really go. I
You
don't
don't
really
be at
go out.
high or nothing
Nah,
like that?
nah.
Okay,
I don't
I
think I've been to
understand.
Hive once.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I think I've been to Delilah a couple times just to eat. But I'm a homebody. I play the game, play a lot of golf. So in my spare time, that's what I'm doing. But it definitely was. Traffic sucks.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than LA traffic. But weather's beautiful. Everything's good.
Oh, I understand. So you talked about IQ earlier with LeBron James, and I know if Dre was here, he would for sure bring up your capabilities because we talk about point forwards based off a certain role and position. For somebody that started so late, how'd your IQ get so high? Because it's very rare you see guys in the league that sometimes be one-trick ponies, but you actually
Yeah.
come out and do a whole slot of work.
Yeah, I think it was. I honestly just think it was instilled in me at a young age. Both my parents know the game. My brother knows the game. I always tell him all the time he needs to be a coach because he be wearing me out with the stuff I do wrong. But it's for me, it's simple. As like the IQ part of the game, just everything that like I feel like you should do just makes sense to me. So I don't really know where it came from, but I'm happy I have it.
I understand. So you seem pretty hip. I want to ask a question. Have you seen the movie Baby Boy?
No.
On our show, we have this part called Guns and Butter, and it's basically from the scenes from the movie Baby Boys for Ving Rhames. It's talking about the micro decisions that you made in the past that pretty much paid huge dividends and later in life. What do you think occurred where 10, 12 years ago that really has you living in LA, living a life right now?
I sacrificed a lot of, going out, partying. That wasn't really what I did when, even when I was 10th, 11th grade, I was always in the gym. So, and that's what, like I said, my brother taught me was, you're from a town of 1,200 people. The school is really little, didn't play AU. So, you gotta work way harder than everybody else is because everybody else, from big cities, getting notoriety, even if my skill level is just as good as theirs, it's not gonna matter. So I sacrificed a lot of social events to go hang out with my friends and have fun, but I wouldn't trade it.
I hear it. Do you ever feel any type of pressure when you show up as Austin Reaves, but this prior to was a Caruso city?
No, not at all.
Not in a sense. I mean, that's a compliment. Caruso's a beat.
He's. I got the question the other day basically because we get compared a lot. Like, well, what our similarities were, and I said that we were white and we played for the Lakers, and that's really about it. But that's nothing against him. He's figured out how to be, a really, really good on-ball defender. And, like I said earlier about with Bron, he's an IQ player as well that, fit really good with Bron.
I understand. What, obviously you had some big moments. To start, like, your rookie year and everything, go through, like, what the feeling was the first play, like, your first full slot of minutes, and then, carry on and finish off to get the reputation that you have now, because everybody remembers the Denver game. They remember the game winners. They remember the 30-point joints. Like,
yeah. So I got a DNP the first game. I think we played Golden State actually. They smacked us by like 30, and I think it was my first career ever DNP. So I was tweaking afterwards. I didn't know how to act. I looked at my agents and was like, y'all witness history tonight. Like, this was my first one. And I didn't know, how that was going to go from there on out. But game 2, I think we were playing Phoenix and I think we were getting beat by like 25 at the end of the third. And coach was like, Austin, go, like, start the fourth, whatever. And I think we went on like a 15-0 run, kind of made it a game late. Not really. It was a little too late, but after that, I was in rotation basically the whole year. I had a couple DNPs late, but it was exciting. Like I said, I always figured out a way to fill the gaps that we needed to be filled. Obviously, we didn't win like we wanted to last year, but For me, it was a really good season.
Yeah. What was one of the moments in that season where it's like a coming to the league moment? Like who you saw LeBron, of course, but like who did you face where you're like, damn, this is who I've been waiting to see, or like I saw you growing up, or I can't believe I
Yeah.
really played versus this person.
Like you said, first off, it was Bron in training camp. He gave me complete problems. I guarded him like three straight possessions and fade away, fade away, fade away, cash, all of them
I
net.
didn't see that mismatch coming, to be honest with
No,
you.
me either. I was looking around like, why am I guarding him? But every time down the court, I guess I was just in the wrong position. But obviously, he was talking a lot of shit. But other than that, um,
That's real.
he just gave me some work about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 40 and
But
probably.
you went under on the screen?
Nah, I went on over. He still made it. he got hot early, and then I checked in and tried to guard him. You know how that goes when someone's already hot.
Thanks, Patrick. Or Pat
Yeah,
was gone.
Pat was already gone, but
Okay.
he did do the watch thing, and I'm sure he remembered that.
So during that time, like you seen certain people that you so much struggle with in that sense. But one thing that you've done that is very impressive, we have the Cream episode where it's rare that a white player makes in the league, but it's even crazier that an undrafted player is able to make it. And I kind of want to dive deeper into that in regards to the mindset you need to have and the resilience you need to have, because this is a tough league. You see top picks not be able to perform or come out and play at a high level. What went into that day in and day out for you to be coming back and garnering an extension and being in a rotation for a playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, if it started off just being taking one day at a time, obviously, but I mean, making every day, as good as it can be. Be the first one to the gym. It was just simple stuff, and put in the work. Because at the end of the day, you know how it goes. Like if you try to take shortcuts and mess with the game a little bit, it doesn't end up well for you. So it was more so just do the right things on and off the court, and then other than that, just believe in yourself. I feel like you said, you have top guys that end up not making it, and it's not because of skill. Something along the lines, maybe like on a mentality, or they lost a little bit of confidence in themselves. But you always got to kind of remind yourself that you're in the league for a reason. You're obviously pretty good at basketball. So that was really the main thing for me. Just all the little things that I could do to make an impression on anybody. Do those.
Yeah. Does it get any tougher? I mean, obviously during the Big 12 season and the media and everything, just show up and get this new type of media and kind of coverage. It's like you guys are under a microscope, especially considering playing with LeBron James. How was that adjustment for you? I played with Darius Morris. He said that fan base was 10 times way different and more harder.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. Like, playing with Bron, even like Russ, AD, like I think last year we had at one time 6 Hall of Famers on the team. So, everything that you do is going to, like you said, be under a microscope. But the media, I mean, they can't really do much if you don't give them much. Say the right things, play the game, and you'll be fine.
You talk about entering the room with like 6 Hall of Famers. What was that like? Because that's more intimidating than what you think. And,
no doubt.
And at the end of the day, those are not only great players, but they're accountable. So
no doubt. It was, so we did, like Bron has a mini camp every year, the weekend before training camp starts. And we went to Vegas, and I remember first one at the gym, but everybody starts piling in. You see Russ, you see AD, Bron, Dwight, who else we have? Melo, Rondo. And then you had, on top of that, you had guys that have been in the league 10 plus years. So everybody was basically solidified, and they didn't have to do anything else for their career. Everything they did was basically extra. So it was fun, but like you said, it was a little like, I remember we were doing just a basic 5-on-0 drill, and Bron dribble baseline, and threw me a dart to the corner. And it was literally all slow motion. Like the first thing that popped in my head was like, please catch it. Like just catch the ball. And the second was, so it's in the corner, left corner, I remember. And next was like, just don't hit the backboard. I don't care if you hit rim, don't hit the side of the backboard. Don't care if you miss it. Just don't hit the backboard. So I shot it, and I'm like, it felt horrible, but it went all net, and it was a big sigh of relief. I was like, whew, we're gonna get through this, all right.
Every year the Lakers think they're in position. Like, how long was it before it became normal and you're just like, okay, I'm going to go hoop at Staples tonight?
So thank God Bron had the mini camp, because none of the coaches were really there. And that was basically my time to get all the butterflies away. Like I said earlier, the pass he made me, that whole day was a little iffy. The next day was a lot better. And then when we got into training camp, it came down to hooping. So that's something I've been doing for a long time.
You want to know when you know you're really hooping as a youngster? When like the vets give you like free shit all the time. So they'll be like, yo, you know what, bro? Here goes some gear. Here goes an extra bag. Hey, Austin, here goes a watch. Like, what was something where obviously you had to do rookie duties, but you're just like, damn, OG looked out for me.
To be honest, I didn't really give much.
Man, y'all too right. They did you like that?
They did me like that.
Man.
But I mean, I will say Rondo looked out. He was the one mostly asking me to go get stuff. So he would hand me a couple dollars when I got back. But other than that, Brian's actually real low maintenance. I think he asked me one time to go get an Xbox remote. So I obviously did that. He gave me a couple dollars. But they let me skate pretty good.
That's good. I remember one time I was talking to Vince Carter, and he had showed up to my daughter's birthday party, and like he sat behind me on the bus, and I used to just be like, damn, I'm talking to Vince Carter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you go do like the rookie duties, it's like a sign of pride of being like, damn, I just really got this shit for Rondo and Brian.
No doubt. There was actually the first day of the mini camp, Russ had he FaceTimed me, and I was on the phone with my mom, but I didn't have his number. I had no idea who it was, so I kind of ignored it. Whatever. So continued talking to my mom, got done, and then he texted me, this is Russ. I need you to call me. I was like, what the hell could this be about? So he asked for me to go to CVS and get some, I forgot what it was, but come back, and he was like, I'm in room whatever. So I go up, and he opens the door. So I just walked in, and it was Brian, Russ, a couple of Brian's friends. And that was one of the moments I was like, damn, like
bringing Russ melatonin.
I
feel that.
That was one of those moments I was just like, damn, like I'm really here.
You had 6 Hall of Famers. Who did you take the most from? Like that you thought you could pattern your game after? You can say Brian.
No, pattern game.
Pat Bev.
Good one. None of them, honestly. But I learned the most from Rondo. Like I was always in his ear, asking him questions. Like you said a while ago, he's IQ. You can arguably second to none. You got him and Brian, obviously, and I asked Brian a lot of questions. But Frank Vogel come up to me early and was like, "I want you to, be around Rondo. Like ask him whatever." And it got to the point where I was asking him so much questions that I was like, damn, if I was him, I'd be annoyed. So I told him, I was like, look, if I ever ask you a question you don't want to answer, just tell me to fuck off. Like, simple, simple. Yeah. But I learned a little bit from everybody. They're all obviously, really good.
You also learn what it's like to start the season with a coach and then not have a coach.
That's true.
Was that unique, or once Vogel went down, did that kind of give you like the green light to be like, forget it? I mean, Brian sitting down, like.
Well, he made the whole season.
Oh yeah, he did. I thought he got fired once Brian sat down. No, in my head, that was
he got
over.
fired. He got fired as we were walking off the court the last game of the year. Didn't even get to the locker room.
What was that like?
It was different, because this is my first year. Never seen anything like it. But we get to the locker room. I think everybody knew it was about to happen. And then our media person came up and told us, that he had got fired and me and Malik were going to do media. And she was just basically like, I'm giving you a heads up. And that's all they asked about was about Frank. But
Did you see him after? What was his face like? He was Saudi?
no, I mean, everybody knew it was happening.
Yeah.
It was, you had the feeling, and it was kind of expected.
So we'll go back to a time, I know a lot of people in the league that, kind of play dividends early on in your career, but who's the one person that you could pinpoint that really made a huge, lead to get you where you want to go? I know you mentioned your brother, but was there anybody outside of that?
Honestly, no, not really. I have a really small circle. My parents, my brother's family.
You're from Newark, Arkansas, so it's only 1,200 people.
That's a fact. But pro wise, like I said, I was a huge Kobe fan. Just loved the mentality around, everything he did. The way he approached the game was probably my favorite thing. And he played like he didn't sit out much. And he competed every night. So that was outside of my family. Probably the one person that, I could say it affected me as just an athlete playing all sports.
When you arrived, what was the craziest Kobe story you ever heard that we probably don't know? I know a lot of people, it floats around and you hear the Mamba mentality, but was there something where it's just like, yo, Kobe did this or Kobe did that you for sure are like, oh, there's no way, or like you adapted it yourself?
I heard a story one time about just basically his workout, just how like detailed it was, which everybody knows, but said that he was doing, a simple like pivot or something, and like someone had left the gym and came back 3 hours later and he was still doing the same thing 3 hours later. And it just speaks to, who he was.
So as you go on with your career and you obviously have a big reputation coming from where you're coming from, you see what they say about Kobe. What type of steps do you want to take for, to continue to build to your story, add to your Wikipedia?
Honestly, it's just somebody that is normal, honestly.
I don't think to make the NBA from where you're from.
I don't think of myself as, any different than a normal human, honestly.
That's right.
So I want to be accessible, someone that people can reach, talk to, and, just on the court be as good as I can possibly be, and then off the court just be a good person.
Also, too, we always wonder, you have a lot of great things that come with success, but what's the downfalls of success that you think that you encounter, like suffering from success? What's been the toughest thing about jumping into this lifestyle and in a short 3 years of going from Wichita to becoming Hillbilly Kobe?
The main thing is you really sacrifice, time with loved ones, family, would be probably my main thing. But I'm very fortunate that my mother don't work anymore. She travels out here quite a bit, so I can see her. But my brother plays in Germany also, so I see him maybe a month out of the year.
Okay.
But he's successful in what he's doing. He's he's hooping over there. So I wouldn't want it any other way. But those are the people that I grew up with, was around every day, and it's different to not have that.
So when we talk careers and we talk about, staying focused and, trying to carry everything out strong, ideally, what do you want your next 5 to 10 year plan to look like?
Obviously still want to be hooping.
The Lakers, or you just gonna be like, Brian, you hiding me too much, man. I gotta get up out of here and go to.
Nah, he don't. He, like I said, me and Brian have a good chemistry. I would like to be here. It's the NBA though. It's a business at the end of the day. And unfortunately for me, I wasn't, I don't want to say talented enough to come in the league at 18, 19 years old. So a couple contracts behind, somebody that is a one and done. So anybody that says we don't play the game for money, to me is lying, because I'd feel like, if you wasn't getting paid, I don't know if you would be here doing it. Obviously, everybody loves the game.
Yeah.
But I want to, make as much money as I can, and be as successful as I can, no matter where it's at.
And then you're gonna take it all back to Arkansas?
I don't know if I'm gonna live in Arkansas. I'm gonna live somewhere where I can golf every day.
Okay, that's not too shabby. That's good. Well, look, man, we appreciate you pulling up. Enjoyed it. Thanks for giving us your time. Clearly, sorry, my buddy Dre was gone, but
It's all good.
it's all good. You said you wanted to be accessible, so when you get that deal, we'll come in. You can announce where you're gonna sign to on point forward.
Say
so,
less.
All right, say less.
I'm gonna pull the Pat Bev. He did it on his podcast.
Perfect. So we'll see you June 29th, and we'll drop July 1st. That makes sense.
Hey, y'all tell me when.
All right, say less. Yeah.